You're sitting on the toilet at 7 a.m. You haven't spoken a word yet. You haven't had coffee. And then you hear it. The little trot of paws on hardwood. A pause. And then your cat sits down outside the bathroom door and just stares at you. Not meowing, not asking for food, just watching. Like they've been assigned to monitor you. And if you made the mistake of leaving the door open, they're in. Sitting on the bath mat. On the sink. Sometimes on your feet. And here's the thing that nobody talks about. It happens every single time. Like they have a schedule. Like they've been waiting. So what is actually going on? Because it turns out it has nothing to do with curiosity. And everything to do with something that happened to cats thousands of years before they ever lived in your apartment. The explanation most people land on? Curiosity. Cats are curious animals. They follow you because they want to see what you're doing. Maybe they like the acoustics of the bathroom. Maybe it's the cool tile. And honestly, that's not wrong, exactly. But it's about as satisfying as saying humans eat because they're hungry. Technically true. Completely missing the point. Here's the problem with the curiosity explanation. Cats don't follow you into the bathroom with the same energy they use to investigate a paper bag or a new smell in the house. Watch them closely. When they follow you to the bathroom, they're not sniffing around. They're not exploring. They're watching you, specifically, and they often do it most intensely with the one person in the household they're most bonded to. Not strangers, not visitors. You. That's not curiosity. That's something much more specific and much more ancient. That's a surveillance behavior, and it has a name. Study number 1, Attachment Theory in Cats, University of Oregon, 2019. In 2019, researchers at the University of Oregon published a study in the journal Current Biology that did something unprecedented. They applied the same attachment testing framework used on human infants to domestic cats. The secure base test, what they found, shook a lot of assumptions. 65% of cats showed secure attachment to their owners, meaning they used their owner as a psychological safe base, calming down faster when their owner returned after a stressor, and using them as a reference point for how to behave in unfamiliar environments. The authors concluded that cats form attachment bonds that are, quote, similar to those seen in human children and dogs, not metaphorically, structurally. Study number 2, Proximity-Seeking Behavior, University of Vienna, 2011. A separate study out of the University of Vienna found that cats actively modulate their behavior based on owner attention specifically. They seek proximity most intensely during transitions. When you move from one room to another, when you close a door, when your routine shifts. The bathroom, it turns out, hits every single one of these triggers at once. Study number 3, Vulnerability Monitoring in Felin's Anthrozoos Journal, multiple studies. Research published across multiple issues of the journal. Anthrozoos, the leading peer-reviewed journal in human-animal interaction, documents what researchers call vigilance proximity behavior in domestic cats, the tendency to position themselves near a bonded human during moments of perceived vulnerability or isolation, sitting, being still, not playing, just present. Sound familiar? Study number 4, The Closed Door Effect, Companion Animal Psychology, 2021, and perhaps most tellingly, a 2021. Behavioral analysis found that the single greatest trigger for cat proximity seeking is a closed or closing door. Not hunger, not play deprivation, a door. Because a closed door to a cat with an attachment bond reads as separation. And separation to this animal is not neutral. To understand why your cat does this, you have to go back roughly 10,000 years, to the Fertile Crescent, to the moment when wildcats, Felis sylvestris lebeca, first began hovering around early human grain stores. Not because they were tame, not because they were friendly, because where humans stored grain, rodents gathered. And where rodents gathered, cats hunted. Here's what most people don't realize about cat domestication. Unlike dogs, which were actively bred by humans over thousands of years, Cats essentially domesticated themselves. They chose proximity to humans because proximity was advantageous. And the cats that thrived weren't necessarily the most aggressive hunters. They were the ones most comfortable monitoring human activity, watching, waiting, staying close without being threatening. What you're selecting for over 10,000 years of that pressure is an animal whose entire survival strategy is built around tracking the movements of a larger, unpredictable creature and staying close enough to benefit without getting left behind. Your cat following you into the bathroom isn't quirky. It's a 10,000-year-old risk management strategy. It's what kept their ancestors alive, and it's running in your cat's nervous system right now, every single time you close a door. So here's where this gets important, and where a lot of well-meaning cat owners are accidentally causing harm. Because when we understand that bathroom following is an attachment behavior rooted in separation sensitivity, we have to look at what happens when we consistently shut that behavior down. If your cat follows you and you respond by shooing them out, closing doors aggressively, or punishing the behavior, you're not training independence. You're communicating repeatedly to an animal whose nervous system is wired for proximity monitoring. That the person they're bonded to disappears behind barriers and comes back changed. That's not neutral. This doesn't mean you can never close a door. It means the solution isn't exclusion. It's enrichment. Jackson Galaxy, the behaviorist, and veterinary researchers both point to the same intervention. Give your cat a predictable signal that you're coming back. Talk to them through the door. Establish a routine. Let them have visual or auditory access when possible. You're not indulging a quirk. You're managing an attachment bond, and those require care. The next time your cat trots in behind you and sits down on the bath mat, don't shoo them. Just look at them for a second, because what you're looking at isn't a weird cat habit. It's 10,000 years of co-evolution. It's an attachment bond that your cat didn't learn from a book. It's an animal that chose, somewhere deep in its nervous system, to keep you in sight. And honestly, that's kind of extraordinary. If this reframed how you see your cat, share it with someone who's been locking theirs out of the bathroom. And subscribe, because next week, we're going to talk about something your cat does while you're sleeping that's even stranger than this.